Neuron. Introduction. Neuron or nerve cell is defined as the structural and functional unit of nervous system. Neuron is similar to any other cell in the body, having nucleus and all the organelles in cytoplasm. Definition of neuron. Neurons, also called neurons or nerve cells, are the fundamental units of the brain and the nervous system. The cells responsible for receiving sensory input for the external world, for sending motor commands to our muscles, and for transforming and relaying the electrical signals at every steps in between. So this is the definition of neuron and classification of neuron depending upon the number of poles, depending upon the function, and depending upon the length of axon. Types of neurons: anasonic neuron, bipolar neuron, pseudo unipolar neuron, multipolar neuron. Depending upon the number of poles, based on the number of poles from which the nerve fibers arise, neurons are divided into three types. First, unipolar neuron, second, bipolar neuron, and third, multipolar neurons. Depending upon the function, on the basis of function, nerve cells are classified into two types, that is, motor or afferent neuron and sensory or afferent neurons. Depending upon the length of the axon, depending upon the length of axon, neurons are divided into two types, that is, Golgi type 1 neuron and Golgi type 2 neurons. So as you can see the diagram of neuron, in the diagram it is clearly mentioned: dendrites, soma, axon, node of Ranvier, axon terminal, squamous cell, myelin sheath, and nucleus. Structure of neuron. Neuron is made up of three parts, that is, nerve cell body, dendrites, and axon. Nerve cell body. Nerve cell body is also known as soma or perikaryon. It is irregular in shape like any other cell. It is continued by a mass or cytoplasm called neuroplasm, which is covered by a cell membrane. The cytoplasm contains a large nucleus, nacelle bodies, neurofibril, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus. Nacelle body and neurofibril are found only in the nerve cell and not in the other cell. Dendrites. Dendrite is branch process of neuron and it is branched repeatedly. Dendrite may be present or absent. If present, it may be one or many in number. Dendrite has nacelle granules and neurofibril. Dendrite transmit impulses towards the nerve cell body. Usually the dendrite is shorter than axon. So this is all about the dendrite and axon. Axon is longer process of nerve cell. Each neuron has one axon. Axon arises from axon hillock, the nerve cell body, and it is devoid of nacelle granules. Axon extends from a long distance away from the nerve cell body. Length of longest axon is about 1 meter. Myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is a thick lipoprotein sheath that insulates the myelinated nerve fiber. Myelin sheath is not a continuous sheath, it is absent at regular interval. The area where myelin sheath is absent is called node of Ranvier. Segment of the nerve fiber between two nodes is called internode. Myelin sheath is responsible for white color of nerve fibers. So this is all about myelin sheath. Neurylema. Neurylema is a thin membrane which surrounds the axis cylinder. It is also called neurulima, seat of Schwann. It contains Schwann cells which has flattened and elongated nuclei. Cytoplasm is thin and modified to form the thin sheet of neurulima. Nerve growth factor. Nerve growth factor or NGF is a neurotrophin found in many peripheral tissues. Other neurotropins, brain derived neurotropic growth factor, ciliary neurotrophic factor, glial cell line derived neurotropic factor, fibroblast growth factor, and neurotrophin 3. So, this is all about neuron.